Wait, did you start?
Yeah, I started.
DXL jump scare.
Damn it! This is now officially a series because I need money and I also need to keep a schedule that I haven't kept at all. Anyways, here's DXL, creator of Another World. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm just being here, being the creator of Another World, I guess.
Damn.
I've actually been looking forward to this series too, I'll be honest.
Really?
Yeah, like, this is such a cool concept. Why hasn't anybody else done this before?
I mean, to be fair, from what I can tell, a lot of creators have kind of hit that point to where they're, like, just big enough to where you figured they would probably just have their DMs automatically, like, blocked or whatever, while simultaneously being, like, too scary to be able to just contact regularly.
Yeah.
How many people do you think have the balls to, like walk in to, like, Dream's DMs and ask them if they want to, like, if he wants to go in for an interview? How many people do you think would actually do that?
Me. I'm doing that right now.
No!
Thanks for the idea.
Yeah. Oh my god. Wait, does he actually have a Discord? I was not aware of this.
No, I'm joking.
Imagine.
I'm joking, don't worry. I'm not asking for Dream to collab on a PA level.
Hey, Dream SMP crossover with Another World real.
Dream SMP is canon, I'm saying that right
yes! Yes!
now. You can put that in the video, it's canon. I said
yo!
it, so it's true.
Dream and Goggy, my fanfiction is becoming real. Anyways, I guess just to go and start this off, how'd you get into PA, first off?
I got into PA with Ultra Orange's level Pixel Party. I had known Ultra Orange in like an animation community, like on Scratch, and when I saw that level, that was like my first experience with the game. And then I didn't really do anything in the game for like 6 months until I got it.
Is Scratch kind of like a... Actually, I don't think I've actually heard of Scratch, though I feel
Really?
like I feel like I should have.
Yeah, I can see why you would feel like you should have. It's like a coding website, but
Wait.
also it gets used for animation a lot.
Oh wait, is that like the place where people would make like those? Oh shoot, what was it? I thought I remember people making like these like weird little like PA kind of clones or something like that.
Well, yeah, people make... There's like a Project Arrhythmia community on Scratch and everything.
Oh,
like, it's really surprising, actually, because I had a lot of people going back to my Scratch account after I started, like, getting popular in the PA community, who were, like, saying, oh my gosh, it's the guy from the Project Arrhythmia thing. And it's so funny, because I was, like, super active on Scratch before I got in Project Arrhythmia.
Wait, were you like more or less active on Scratch than you are now? Because like...
I honestly don't know. I mean, like, right now, I'm barely on Scratch. Like, I literally just opened up my Scratch account while we were talking because I was curious, and yep, I'm still getting those comments.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. But yeah, there's like a PA community on there and everything, but that is not how I found PA, ironically enough.
Oh, nice. So it's just because like Ultra Orange just kind of found the game and then he introduced you to
Ultra
the game.
Orange, like, I think I remember Ultra Orange uploaded the video of Pixel Party, and that specifically was what got me into the game, because I was like watching it. And I think this was before I had even played Just Shapes and Beats, by the way. I didn't get to the game through Just Shapes and Beats. I will always take pride in that fact, because so many people did.
I feel called out. All right, listen. All right,
Don't worry,
okay.
don't worry.
Listen. Okay, listen, I see this game and I just think, oh wow, this is just like Just Shapes and Beats, and then I join this community and like everyone's yelling at the people who are saying that, and now I just feel embarrassed.
I remember like back then, like everybody, there was like the whole entire thing where at the beginning of every PA video, there would be the disclaimer that it wasn't Just Shapes and Beats.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
That was a thing. I people forget it a lot, but that was a thing. Like, that was a real thing.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny to think about.
I remember that because I remember, like, this was back when I first joined the community, I think. I just remember being worried about that because that was the main reason I joined. I wanted to make an extended version of Final Boss, but then I joined this community, and not only are we, like, not associating with JSAB, but then also you're not even allowed to use Final Boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once you actually got into the editor, what would you say your learning curve for it was? Like, did it just like instantly click with you, or did you have to like take your time with it, learning all the...
No, it definitely did not instantly click with me. Because like the first level I was making, I don't have any video evidence of it anymore, and I deleted it. But the first level I was making, I made like one arrow prefab. It's actually the arrow prefab in Shape of the Sun. I made that arrow prefab. I got the song This Isn't Science Rocket. I literally set the quick prefab button or whatever, and just clicked the button constantly. And that was my first level. And I realized this kind of sucks. So then I made Shape of the Sun, which also kind of sucked, but it didn't suck as much.
Yeah.
And then Shape of the Sun, I mean, that took some time too, but I figured out boss models, I think. Like, you can basically, it's really not, I think it's not that hard to tell that it's my first level, Shape of the Sun. Like, not even looking at the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, no, everyone's first level looks like a first level, unless you're in a very, very small exception.
Yeah, unless you're like Crazy. Like, Crazy Train was Crazy's first level, right?
Yeah, I believe it is, and then I think it also got updated. And then there was this other person, like, what was it, like Phantom Leaf or something? They made like a pure Git level, and it was
Phantom Leaf. Yeah, Phantom Leaf's first level was also really good.
It was also it was also apparently like the first animation they ever made, like, period, which just it blew my mind because I don't understand how any of that was possible.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's like, and I honestly think that's like the standard for creating since like when I was like first getting into community. The standard of creating has definitely gone up, which means that there's a lot more insane first levels.
Remember when Opia was like a really, and I guess it's pretty much still is in like most circles, but like Opia is like a really, really good boss fight. And then nowadays you have like so much higher quality things to like compare it to. It's
yeah, like Opia is a classic, I'll admit that. But like if you compare it to stuff nowadays, it just shows like how much things have changed in like what? Like 1 year, 2 years? How long has Opia been out?
Opia is
2 years. Yeah, that's crazy.
There's like a lot of levels that have just kind of hit like that classic status for being out for like so long.
Yeah, and it just happens before we even notice it. It's scary almost.
It's wild.
Yep.
Great way to make yourself feel old. I guess we can go and start with the another world talk. You kind of already brought this up earlier, but I wanted to go over how you feel about some of your early levels, like Shape of the Sun, the original version of Press Start, and Pure Gunt and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'll be honest, if I look at all of my old Another World levels, I really do not like them, which is why I still really want to remake a lot of them. But, like, out of all of them, like, Shape of the Sun is the one I can forgive the most, because it's my first level. I'm like, okay, maybe I can accept Shape of the Sun being bad. I still want to remake it, but at least it makes sense why it's bad. The second, I think that the original Press Start, which I, like, honestly just barely remember that much of the process for, but I think I tried some new things in it. Like, I'm still really proud of the skull model in that level, and honestly, I really shouldn't have made that skull model for my second level, because everything else in the level was just kind of bad except for the model. But, I mean, the model turned out really good, all other things in the level considered, and then getting into, like, Pure Gunt. Pure Gunt, I think, holds up the best. I don't have any plans to remake Pure Gunt, because I did the dialogue update because people, like, it was too fast, and that's, like, a story thing. I want to make people be able to enjoy the story. But Pure Gunt, I think, is just, like, solid all around. Like, the gameplay is fun. Like, the visuals aren't, like, compared to the stuff I do nowadays, they aren't anything special at all, but they get the job done, and I think that the level is still pretty fun to go through. Plus it was like one of the most creative early Another World levels too. And then 10,000s. 10,000s I have very mixed feelings on, because I know some people really like that level's gameplay and some people really hate that level's gameplay. I really hate that level's gameplay.
Listen, I know it technically counts as spam, but I mean the spam is at least kind of fun.
Yeah, but it's just like literally that prefab over and over again of Dark Hal dashing around, and I feel like it was like the laziest way to do that boss fight. Like, there's so many interesting ways I could have done it. Plus, I mean, like, I think that's where I really started like improving with visuals, like camera effects at least, because I remember being super proud of like the camera effects in that level while I was working on it, like with the camera rotations and stuff, and all the like everything in there. Now, the difficulty, yeah, the difficulty and the, really just how fair it was, I'm not a fan of. And
I don't know, I guess I never saw a problem with it, I just like hard levels, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I do still plan to remake it regardless, at least, because there's a lot of stuff I want to change on it, mostly the song choice, because in hindsight, the song choice for that being the level where you introduce, like, this dark creature or whatever, it's kind of too happy of a song for that.
I mean, considering it started like a whole trend with like people, well, I wouldn't call it like a trend, but considering it basically became like the basis for like a HAL boss fight. I know it's not actually like the name of the nanobot or whatever, but I mean, it's where people start getting like the HAL boss fight ideas.
Yeah, definitely. And then I think like once I hit Nautilus is when I was like, this is where I'm happy with my levels now. Like, I don't need to remake these anymore. Because, like, anything beyond Nautilus, I just don't really see a reason to full-on remake.
Yeah, Nautilus was one of, like, your...
Except for Airborne Robots, I actually just want to change a lot of stuff in there. But Nautilus is, like, where I, like, hit, the stride, I guess, or whatever the word is.
Yeah, no, like, Nautilus was one of your breakout levels, yeah? Like...
It was the breakout level, like, both in terms of quality and of, like popularity. Because I remember, like, I think it was, like, Monster who uploaded the level. Like, their video of it was what really kicked off Another World. I really owe a lot of Another World's popularity to that. I think Nautilus is probably still my best level, I'll be honest. It's probably still my best level because the effects, the backgrounds, I mean, I feel like a lot of people were saying the gameplay was hard and fair, which is something I haven't been able to recreate. I always end up making things too easy now because I think about my gameplay. It's like as soon as I started thinking about my gameplay, because people said my gameplay was good, I started making it easier. What's going on there?
Go the exact opposite route. Make the level as stupidly hard as possible. In fact, do it for the Shape of the Sun remake, or do it for the 10,000 remake, or whatever.
That would be funny, just making the hardest level the first one. But Nautilus also, like, the visuals aside, also I feel like it's my best storytelling in a level. Like, I mean, storytelling, anybody who has watched the level or seen the level, of course, yay, I killed Sunrise. That's kind of a wholesome moment, I think so myself.
Wholesome 100 Keanu Reeves, Big Chungus. Yes.
But thinking about how basically Sunrise had zero character developments before Nautilus, and I managed to make people emotionally attached to Sunrise and make them sad about Sunrise in the course of 5 minutes is something that I'm probably the proudest of in terms of storytelling.
Oh yeah, no, I gotta admit, you really did attach me to like a literal sun character that showed up for 5 minutes and then barely did anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like if you look at Shape of the Sun, Sunrise is just giving you like this death stare and just like looking into you while moving around.
It's a sign of intimidation.
I had to work with that.
And to think, I don't even think I actually played Shape of the Sun. I saw Nautilus first. I didn't even have any context for that. But like,
yeah, actually, a lot of people probably did because like Shape of the Sun wasn't popular until like, well, I mean, it's really not the most popular Another World level, but nobody really checked it out until after Nautilus, for obvious reasons.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say my favorite level personally is in the Tiger's Den.
I hear that a lot actually. A lot of people really like that level.
Yeah, no. And I don't know. I don't know if it's just like it's because of the rarity of normal levels, as in like non-boss fight levels, or if it's just because like or it was just like a crapshoot or something. But man, that level was just so fun to go through, and like the camera effects with like the song choice in and of itself, as well as some of the attacks, really helped make it like that much extra like bouncy, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm really proud of that level too, honestly, because I would say it's probably up there as one of my favorites in Another World. And I do hear, like, a lot of people will say that's their favorites. And I think that there's a lot that I missed out on in it. Like, I was going to, I don't know, I don't think I've really mentioned this, but I was going to, like, one thing I had planned to do in it, but I just didn't do for some reason, was I was going to add, like, a bunch of stuff in the background, like screens and whatever, with, like, lore details and junk like that. And I didn't do that, and I feel like if I did that, the level would have been, like, the best it could have been. But I'm still really happy with it, and I think, like, especially as a normal level, like, I think in the Tiger's Den, I originally considered, like, making, like, a boss, like, a mini-boss in it, but I didn't. Like, you know how I guess the best example I can give is, like, Dragon W's Meltdown level, where it has, like, the square thing. I was going to do something like that, but I didn't, and I think that's for the better, because the theme of the level really fits a lot more of just going through this funky building. Maybe there's this dude at the end.
Compare how you like started making Another World levels to how you're making them now. Like how like the whole process is for you.
Well, you see, the difference is I'm not making them now.
Nice.
Okay. I know people will probably get mad at me if I just say that outright.
Damn, bro. Absolute Chad move.
The truth is I'm working on other stuff right now, but to answer the question, like, the thing is, like, right now I'm thinking a lot more about them in, like, more ways than one. And please, I promise that's a joke. I am still making Another World. Please don't attack me or Mountain.
Too late. Too late. The comment section has already deemed you as a liar.
When I started making them out, I wasn't really thinking about it. Like, I've probably said this many times before, or at least I want to say this, and, like, I still have, like, a script of a video about the making of Another World, which I never finished, but Shape of the Sun, I literally made without thinking about a story at large. I was just like, okay, what if I use the lyrics and I put funny brackets around the location, and maybe it'll be ambiguous, and maybe that'll be, like, a cool setup. And then press start, I went into going off of that, and then I literally ended up changing the entire plots of another world after press starts. Like, I literally changed it 2 levels in. Like, 10,000 was going to be a completely different level. And then after that, like, I don't remember exactly when it happened. I think it was after Nautilus, like between Nautilus and Oasis. I don't think that's how you pronounce it. But between those 2 levels was when I like just started like planning out things more in depth, like actually setting up like an order of levels. And then after that, probably around In the Tigers then, or after Classic Pursuit, was when I had a solidified list of levels. It hasn't changed much since. Maybe I've changed like 1 song here or there, or added 1. But yeah, I would just say it's the amount of thought I put into them, because I wasn't really thinking about a bigger picture at first, because I don't know. I don't know. I just was making a level, and I was just like, well, people like storylines. Maybe I can make a cool storyline. I like telling stories. And then I was like, wait, that means I have to actually make the story.
So you just kind of like fell into the whole story level thing or whatever it's called.
Yeah, because like Another World wasn't going to be lore heavy. It was going to be like this sort of like lighthearted thing to tie the story together. Like you were like going on these fetch quests to pick up some things, and there was this villain who was kind of a early version of Quinzoid who was also kind of bad.
Yeah.
I could go on and on about it, but I probably shouldn't for the sake of the video length.
Fair enough. Lighthearted as in I killed off a character. Okay.
Yeah, it took a turn, all right. It took a turn. It went from being like, oh, there's this funny sun dude, to the funny sun dude is part of a multiversal organization of star god, not god people. Well, they're sort of gods, but not really. And then I end up making tons of lore, and here I am now. And I'm actually really happy with that too, because like I know Another World, like from a storytelling perspective, I have a lot of fun with telling the story of it and everything else related to it, because there's other storylines I want to do related to it. So I would say that the changes I made were definitely for the better.
Like, what inspires your writing, or like what do you like base a lot of your writing off of? I guess just like.
I based it off. That's a really tough question, because I can draw inspirations for like the story, but like for the writing particularly, like Another World takes a lot of inspirations. Like the concept of the multiverse is like the one thing that I really like wanted to put into Another World somehow. And I mean, like there's a bunch of different aspects of Another World that I would say I was inspired by something else to some degree for them. But like the writing particularly, I try and write things like, once I started getting to beast mode, I tried making like the dialogue, just like, I try and make things dramatic, of course, because I don't want dialogue to feel too unnecessary. Like, that's the thing, like a lot of, like, it's sort of like recently, like people don't like long blocks of dialogue with nothing happening as much. Like trying to make dialogue count is the one thing I would say for writing a PA story. Like, try and make the dialogue count. Don't make it like filler stuff that's just happening, like, because there's a calm spot in the song. Like, make it important, make it memorable, that kind of stuff.
My name is Just Star Heart, and I have been waiting for this day. Failure after failure, they've all I don't know, just a rant.
Dialogue jump scare. It's the dialogue jump scare.
Dialogue. How do you go about making levels nowadays? Specifically with, like, whenever you just go in, you're sitting at home, you open up the editor, how do you go about, like, starting to make your levels?
Very, very slowly. Because it takes some time for me to get going, I'll be honest. I usually try and start out with, like, just sort of, like, slowly trying to get ideas together. I'll usually get an idea for a level totally on impulse, I'll be honest. Like, even though I have a lot planned, I'll usually get the idea and impulse. I'm like, I gotta do it. I write it down. And then here I am making the entire Synthwave Trials collection, which was literally based on impulse for a single song. I refuse to deny that.
I got bored, so I made an entire storyline. Hope you guys don't mind.
I wish I could do that with Another World, trust me.
Where's Another World Part 2?
I don't know. All that stuff, like, just trying to, like, I usually try and take a slow start, and then after that, I kind of get into the process of doing whatever I can do first. Like, I try and, sometimes I skip around and do other parts, but often I don't. The only time I've done it a lot is, like, with both Excelsis and Emerald Electric, which are both levels that are not out right now, but honestly might be out by the time this video is out, I'm not sure. But with both of those, I actually worked on the levels in reverse, sort of. I did, like, section by section in reverse, because I had the ideas in reverse. And, like, I don't really know why. It just works. Just doing what works, usually. And sometimes that means doing a background first, sometimes that means animating first, sometimes it means boss modeling first. Boss modeling is honestly probably one of the things that I just find the most chill to do, because I can like pop open maybe a reference image if I need one. Just put together a model while I'm in VC listening to like a song or whatever and talking with people. Like, boss modeling is the most flexible thing to do in the editor because you don't only rely on the music or the sync.
Yeah, boss modeling.
Although I don't do it nearly enough. I should really model more.
Yeah, fair enough. Boss modeling is great for me because it means that I can just do it in the middle of school, have the audio muted, and then just model whatever I need to do.
Yeah.
I guess now that we're talking about making levels, why do you keep making levels, actually? Why stay here, like, at all? I'm not sure if, like, this is just me, or if it's just, like, something that's been popping up recently, but I certainly have noticed, and I've had, like, a couple people telling me this, of, like, whether it be, like, rapid creator burnout, or just, like, a general feeling of, like, not really wanting to put up with the editor. So, like, what keeps you here, actually? Like, what keeps you making these levels and coming back to, like, create more stuff?
That's honestly honestly a bit of a personal question for me, which I can answer basically in just saying that, what else am I going to do? It's like, I create levels because I have fun creating for the sake of creating. If I'm not, it's hard to explain. I just make stuff because if I'm putting stuff out there, I literally wrote down like dozens of ideas, and I'm sure as heck not going to get to all of them, but nothing's going to stop me from trying. And literally the theme of why people create, and I'm going into the Synthwave trials like I literally always do whenever I get the opportunity because I'm obsessed with it right now, but literally the theme of why people create is something that I wanted to tap into in like a storytelling perspective, because it is something that I think is really like a theme that applies to me. And I know that might sound a bit like over the top or ridiculous as an answer, but like creation and like, I know burnout exists and stuff, and burnout does suck because I have gone through my own fair share of burnouts, like especially for an entirety of the last year. But I mean, yeah, just creating for the sake of creating. I have the ability to put stuff out there. I know the stuff I want to put out there. Is it going to be easy always? No, but I mean, why not?
Because you create, because you enjoy it, basically.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy putting the stuff out there. I enjoy people liking the stuff I put out there. I do it for myself, but I also do it for others. I mean, mostly for myself, but mostly for others too. Because saying mostly for myself is wrong. Because I don't think Another World would have continued if it wasn't super popular. Like, if it got zero recognition, it would have continued, but I doubt it would have been like what it is today. Like, it wouldn't have grown as big.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't have become this like giant epic with a bunch of stuff. Or maybe it could have, but...
So you do it for money, got it.
No. No, come on, I barely monetize my videos.
He does it for the sweet, sweet YouTube ad revenue, all $0 that he's making because it gets claimed anyways.
Yeah, like, I barely monetize videos. Please. But I do it because I like it, and I do it because others like it. If I stopped liking it, then I wouldn't do it. And I haven't stopped liking it yet, so I'll keep doing it.
Alright, cool.
Simple enough.
Alright, I guess going and moving away from all this heavy stuff, let's go and talk about your most recent level. The most impactful level, and perhaps I would call it one of the best levels that I've ever seen. It's the Pure Gunt dialogue update. Frankly,
yeah.
Absolutely. So please tell me, what exactly inspired you to make this magnum opus of a level?
So the Pure Gunt dialogue update is a level... So I know we just got off the personal stuff, but I want to try and bring that back in, because the dialogue update is something that I find personal as well. Because you see, like, speaking fast and making a level where the boss speaks too fast for you to read anything, that just was something that I don't think resonated with me as much as making the boss, like, have an acceptable amount of speech so that people could read it without pausing and going back. And so that the level could be played by a YouTuber like Scribs, who actually, when I saw Scribs playing this, Scribs was like, I can't keep up with this guy, what is he saying? Like, literally, I was like, I'm so sorry in the comments, and
Yeah, okay, but, like, I'm just saying, real Another World fans would go to the YouTube video and just pause it so that they can read it, okay?
Yeah, we all know that 75% of the PA community doesn't own the game, so...
Alright, but being serious, I guess since we're not really going to talk about... Or actually, now, we can go back to Beastmode in a second, but I mean, I guess your most, like, recent, like, actual levels being, like, Dark Dungeon and Close to Me, both of them collabs. What was your opinion on both of them, like, overall, would you say?
Dark Dungeon I'm pretty happy with. I think Dark Dungeon it's not anything special, but I'm still happy with what I got done in it. I kind of just finished it randomly, I think my part was pretty good. I mean, even if the theming is weird, like you're in a dungeon and now you're fighting a robot, that makes no sense. But I still had a lot of fun working on it, and it is simple, but you know, there's no problem with it being simple. I'm proud of everything I did in there. It looks good. I mean, it's not like anything that I think I would say shown too much above my other levels, but that's not a problem. I had fun doing it. Close to me, I just did the backgrounds for. And I guess the spinning part. I'm really proud of the backgrounds in Close to Me, especially with the transitions, which I had a lot of fun with the transitions. And I was like, the transitions, like the way that I went from one background to another is something that I paid a lot of attention to, like just having fun with that. And it was like the most fun part about it. And like the spinning claw part, well, the spinning saw part, sorry, it's not claws. That I just wanted to do because it was like, it's by far the simplest part in the level, and I'm like, I have a good idea for how to like put a PA spin on this with like the background and the spikes on the outside. I'm literally looking at the level right now as I describe it.
Okay, listen,
yeah.
No offense to you, I just don't like that part in like the actual JSAB portion. No offense to you.
I think that's fair, because it's kind of like in the actual Just Shapes and Beats portion, it's kind of like the slow part.
Yeah.
And I guess, should I talk about All Your Energy too? Because you said my most recent levels, but that's actually my most recent level.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Okay, yeah, let's talk about All Your Energy.
All Your Energy is one I just wanted to make. I had an idea with an NDXL level, and I was like, I should save this for NDXL's birthday, and I did, and it was worth it, because I'm actually really proud of that level, and more chance to get people into command control music, that's always a win, if I say so. All the little details, like the star field at the opening, and the Riot Light stuff. The NDXL model I'm really proud of, and like, I just had a lot of fun making that level. It was really fun. I'm really proud of how I did in it, especially the scene at the end. I feel like the scene at the end was like the perfect way to finish it off with like the DJ scene. And I know I made the level easy, but I think that's like the first time like I made a level easy and I wanted it to be easy, because I wanted this level to just be like a fun level to go through. Like, happy birthday, here's a birthday party, you won't die during it too easily. And I guess like, it's not that challenging a level. It's like my first basic difficulty level that's basic difficulty because it's actually basic difficulty, not because it's like a cutscene or a joke level.
No. It was a pretty basic. It was like a pretty simple level. I liked it a lot, or at least, yeah. Very bold move, by the way. Making a Friday Night Funkin' character the star of the level.
Yeah, I know. NDXL from Friday Night Funkin'.
He is my favorite. Have you played his Friday Night Funkin' mod? I love Friday Night Funkin'. No. I
have not played Friday Night Funkin' for more than 10 minutes, I'll be honest.
I have never downloaded Friday Night Funkin'.
I have it downloaded. I like played. I didn't really know what to do, and I'd never really played. I mean, I just never really played it. I like the game. I've watched some stuff about the game, but I never really played it. I do want to make a Dad Battle level, though.
I have only ever watched the mods and things like that. Like, I've watched the game, I've watched the mods. I've never actually, like, had the courage to, like, download it. At one point, I went over to a friend's house to play it, and I absolutely sucked at the game. But I do kind of want to make a mod for it, only because it looks interesting. The main
Versus Mountain.
No, it wouldn't even be Versus Mountain. It'd probably be one of my PA characters. But I mean, if I did do that, I would be I would more than likely get canceled on Twitter within the hour. Like, within the hour that goes up, someone is accusing me of something, and I don't even know what it's going to be, but I'm getting accused of something.
How dare you interview me for this?
I want you to imagine, all of a sudden, like, the interview's over, you're going back to doing whatever you were doing, and then all of a sudden your laptop bursts into flames and you lose all the data. How do you feel about just, like, leaving beast mode, like, as it is?
Honestly, beast mode was underwhelming, in my opinion. Like, I know people like that level, people say the gameplay is great, but beast mode, I just can't shake the feeling that it just wasn't what I wanted it to be. Like, I wanted beast mode to be, like, this, like, dramatic sort of level thing, like, probably my best work, and isn't my best work, it's not real. I mean, some ways it is, but beast mode, I don't think, no, I don't really think that it's where I would want to leave off, because, I mean, one thing I think is I overhyped the level. Like, I was always saying, like, beast mode is coming soon, I think, or something along those lines. I mean, like, and also the stuff with, like, I was going to release a cutscene before beast mode, and that would provide more context, and I didn't, and now people really don't understand why. I mean, I dropped some hints, but most people don't really see, like, oh, well, I guess he's attacking us because Square corruption, I guess. And I'm pretty sure people haven't said it, but I'm guessing that's what it comes off as to some people.
DXL corruption arc real.
Yeah, I am proud of the gameplay, though. I'm just not really proud of, like, I guess just what I wanted it to be. It's like, it just, like, it's like I wanted it to be more, and I don't know what I missed. Maybe it was, like, the fact that I stopped working on it for months, and the fact that the first part of the first drop is kind of off sync, but I just feel like I missed the mark on it. And I'm hoping that when I get to Pyre, I don't miss the mark on it, because I think that level's turning out good so far, but yeah, I just don't want to repeat the mistake there of, like, just missing the mark. And it's more of, like, my own personal opinion on it. People can like that level. It's not, like, I don't have a problem with people liking that level. I just don't like that level just because of the way it turned out. And that's really, like, I mean, honestly, that's the thing where, like, you'll hear a lot about artists not liking their own work later on.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the same applies with PA levels.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's probably like a natural thing of just growing, I would say. Just like not really being a fan of your older stuff, or even the stuff that you do end up making like soon. But,
Oh geez, has it been 7 months since Beastmode came out?
Oh my god! Oh,
that's disappointing. That is so bad. That is just bad.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to pause this interview really quickly. When was my last PA level? When was my last Okay, where is it?
I mean, don't worry, you don't have people hounding you in the comments for next level.
Oh my gosh, it was 10 months ago. Oh, what have I been doing for the last 10 months?
I still occasionally get a comment asking when Chapter 2 Part 2 will come out, and I'm like, it'll come out when I want to work on it. Like, I just honestly, I'll be totally blunt about this. I honestly don't want to work on it right now, and that's just because there's other stuff I want to work on, and I work at my own pace on what I want to work on, and sometimes that's the stuff that's popular, and sometimes it's not. That doesn't stop me from thinking that the Synthwave Trials will be a banger level collection anyway, and that even if it's not another world, I think it'll be cool.
Fair enough.
But if I get one comment that tells me, when is Another World Part 2 coming out on it, I am going to make it Another World Part 2. I will rename the Synthwave Trials to Another World Part 2. I don't care if it doesn't make sense. People will finally see that I put out a level called Another World Part 2.
Okay, so I'm just gonna really quickly delete this next question. No, completely unrelated. I'm just deleting this next question really quickly. Don't need to. All right. Okay. Next question.
What was the next question? I'm curious now.
Right. Okay. No, I'm joking.
Were you asking me when?
No, I was joking. Of course not. Or was I?
Okay. The next question? I guess.
Okay, cool. So the next question is, when is the Synthwave Trials coming out?
Honestly, probably sometime soon, because I just started on the final level for it, and that's probably going to go well. Like I'm doing really good. Like Synthwave Trials, I mean, it's a really fun level collection to work on because it's mostly abstract and story stuff, and it's really just fun because I'm playing a lot around with like gameplay ideas and like making a collection of, I mean, it's called the Trials for, like, I guess you could call like a collection of levels a trial, but also because I'm trying new things in it, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. Yeah, the final level is a bit longer because I also have to do credits in that level, and the credits are longer, and then I gotta do like funny lore stuff at the end, so it might take longer, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with how progress on it has been going. It's probably like one of the most fun things I've been making in the PA editor.
Yeah, no,
which is great.
Yeah, no, I've seen a couple of previews you've posted, I think. Yeah, it's definitely coming out to be really interesting. Anyways, next question. Will the next part of Another World come out after that? Please, you need to tell me this. Okay.
I actually, jokes aside, I actually plan to work on Pyre once the new editor comes out, because I just want to wait until then to work on it, because there's some stuff in it that I want to use, and honestly, I just don't really want to work on the level in the current editor. It's just because I'm kind of worn out of working on it in this editor. Like, I don't really know where to go next for it, and I honestly just kind of don't have ideas, so I'm hoping that the new editor kicks me off with that. But until then, I have the Synthwave Trials, I have a couple of collabs, I have all that fun stuff to procrastinate with.
Yeah. You mean like the Legacy Edition, right? Is that
yep.
Yeah, that one.
Wait, what Legacy Edition?
I think, is that what it's called? I remember it being called, like, I remember it getting, like, a label or something.
Oh yeah, the current editor is called the current editor I'm using is the Legacy editor, because that's the one that's stable.
That's the only one that works without crashing or deleting.
The only one that works, yeah. But I'm hoping that the new one starts working, because I'm actually kind of excited to use it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've seen what the plans are for it, and I have to say it looks this new update is going to be really cool if it comes out. Nah, I'm sure it'll come out.
I'm sure it'll come out. Like, despite all the setbacks, it seems like it's getting closer and closer, especially with like the more recent updates. I know there's been a lot of setbacks, but I am still looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And I am going to do a lot of fun stuff in it. I hope.
I made a personal competition to myself to try and finish the tutorial video before the new editor came out, and I technically won, because I technically won, even though I think it came out like a week later or something like that, but I mean, it's still not stable, so I still technically, I still have something, which is that it's still the default one. I have that.
Yep.
Alright. Anyways, moving on to the next question. Was there anything you wish you knew before you got into PA and the editor and Another World in general?
Another World that you have to make a story entirely before you start it. The editor in general, that's really tough. I mean, honestly, I just kind of wish that's a really tough question, because I could just say, like, something that I know how to do now, but that doesn't really make any sense as an answer, because I would learn how to do it anyway. Like, I guess the one thing I wish I knew was, like, sort of how to think out a level more, because that took a bit of time for me to get. And arguably, I don't really think out levels sometimes nowadays. Like, I guess one example I can give is, like, airborne robots, because I didn't really think out the first drop at all. Where actually, I really didn't think out a lot of the drops at all. Yeah. I'm not proud of airborne robots.
Alright, yeah, that's pretty much most of the questions that I had. One more question that I do have for you, though. Favorite and least favorite Another World characters?
Favorite is so... That's actually a hard question, because there's, like, from so many different perspectives I can say that.
Yeah, I'm asking you to
Sunrise
pick your favorite
is my
child.
favorite storytelling-wise, because Sunrise gave birth to basically the entire concept of the Navigator stars. But Bond is, like, my favorite to use in the editor, because I had so much fun making, like Classic Pursuits.
Yeah.
Classic Pursuit, I had the most fun making. Like, I just had so much fun, like, modeling all the different guns and stuff. Like, that was such a blast.
Classic Pursuit was such a fun sequel level.
Yeah. Even if it was a bit too easy as a sequel level, like, it was kind of a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But, least favorites, Field. Yeah, I literally made Field just so I could kill him, so...
Damn, no respect!
Yeah. And then
sure...
I gave him some lore significance after that, but he still literally just exists so that he can be killed, and... I mean, he's not really that unique of a character. He doesn't have personality. He has the weakest design out of all the Another World characters, and even weaker design than Sunrise, who honestly was, like, my first boss design, and yet Sunrise still, like, has a unique design. Like, Field is just a square wearing a visor, and, like, nobody would think about Field. Like, name the last time you thought about Field. You did not think about Field.
I mean, I thought about Field in relation to me asking this question, but...
But before that, did you think about Field? No.
Probably not.
Nobody thinks about Field.
I mean, who
He's
knows?
fake.
Maybe Another World is so big that someone out there is actually working on, like, Field fanfiction or Field artwork. Who knows?
I mean, yeah, I have seen some Field artwork, and it has been pretty good.
Yeah, no, I mean, the people in this community are pretty talented, yeah.
Yeah, everybody in this community is pretty talented. Like, not even just levels, like, all the other people, I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but, like, everybody else drawing my stuff better than I could draw my stuff is what inspired me to start, like, taking drawing seriously. Like, so many people in this community are so great at so many different things. It's great.
Anyways, I believe... Yeah, that's pretty much it. Any closing thoughts? Anything else you want to say to the audience?
DXL unjump scare, orange square emoji. Wait, if I DM you the orange square emoji, does that get in the video?
Oh wait, hold up. I do have one more question. When is the next episode of Another World coming out? This is a very important question that's been asked by... Alright, Andy's left. Alright.